Pirki Avos, Pedig Rabbi, Pedig Dalet, Mishnah Yutes. The Mishnah tells us, Shmuel HaKotten Omer, Shmuel HaKotten says, Bin foil or yivcha al tismach. When your enemy falls, don't be happy, don't laugh. Ubekoshle, and when he stumbles, al yogeli becha, your heart should not be gladdened. Pen yireh Hashem, perhaps Hashem will see this, v'ra be'inov, and Hashem will not like seeing you laughing at your enemy's fall. V'heishiv me'olav apoy, and he will turn his wrath, his kas from the enemy who is being punished onto you. A few questions asked here. Who was Shmuel HaKotten? Why was he called Kotten? And what is he saying? This Mishnah is word for word, verbatim, two psukim of Mishlei that Shlomo Melech says in Tanakh. So what did he say, Shmuel? Let's start about Shmuel. There are two opinions in our Sifri Toldus. When did he live? Either he lived before Churban Bayis Sheni, during the time of Rabbi Gamliel HaRishon, or after Churban Bayis Sheni, during the times of Rabbi Gamliel HaSheni. Why was he called HaKotten? So I'm going to give five answers why the Meforshim explain why he was called HaKotten. The Yishalmi says, why is he called HaKotten? Because he was humble, he was an onov, and shehoya maktin es atzmoi. He always held himself in low esteem, as an onov and a person who is very humble. That's why he was called Kotten. Today's time you find certain people who sign the names HaKotten so-and-so. But he was really Kotten, that the Mishnah testifies about him that he's a Kotten. Where do we see actually that he was a Kotten? The Gemara tells us that when he passed away, one of the Hespedim, the eulogies they said about him was, Hey Chosid, Hey Onov. We lost now, he was a Chosid and a Onov, and we lost him now at his passing. So we see the Chazal himself called him as an Onov. We find that throughout the whole Mishnayos, there's no halacha mentioned in his name. Shmuel HaKotten in Mishnayos is not mentioned. The only time we find him is when he talks about Midas Chassidus, as of here, Midas Toivis, but we don't find any halacha. Perhaps because he didn't feel that he was worthy to have something mentioned in his name. That's another reason the Meforshim say that he's Kotten, because he felt that whatever he says, he has to say, somebody said it before him already. So we don't have in Mishnayos no Dvar Halacha mentioned from Shmuel HaKotten. Another reason, interesting reason, is given again from the Yerushalmi and brought down in the Vadim Batanura, that he was a little bit less than Shmuel HaNavi, Shmuel HaRamosi, Shmuel HaNavi. In other words, he was the same level in Nevuah, in greatness, in Kedusha, just a little less. That's why he's called the Shmuel HaKotten compared to Shmuel of the Navi. Indeed, we find that before he passed away, he said the Nevuah. What did he say? He was talking to Rabbi Gamliel and to Rabbi Shmuel, and he said prophecy that the Romans are going to kill them, and indeed they wore one of the Asar Ruga Malchus. So we see that he had Nevuah. So another reason why we find that he was Kotten means that he was the same level as Shmuel HaNavi, but he was a little less level. A third answer is given, interesting in Sefer Magen Avos. He says that there were 4 people who passed away in the same age, and the age was 52. Shmuel HaNavi passed away at age 52. Shlomo HaMelech passed away at age 52. Our Tan is Shmuel HaKotten passed away at age 52. And the Gemara's Amoira, Shmuel, passed away at age 52. 4 people, 3 of them with the name Shmuel, they all passed away at age 52. So that's why also it's mentioned, interesting, that the connection between Shmuel HaNavi and Shmuel HaKotten. Interesting, there's a Rashi in Tanakh, in Shmuel Aleph, Kapitel Aleph, Pasuk Chavim, says that there was a bas girl that came out every day. And the bas girl said that there's going to be born a boy, and the name will be Shmuel, and he'll be a tzaddik. So that year, when people heard about this bas girl, every woman who gave birth to a boy named the son Shmuel. And then when the boy grew up and we saw that he's not the tzaddik that we expected, so they said, okay, this is not the one that the bas girl is talking about. But when Shmuel was born, Shmuel HaNavi was born, says Rashi, right when he was born, yet when he was a Kotten, you didn't have to wait till he grew up. you notice in him that he was greatness, and his Adam God was a great person. So the Rashi says about Shmuel Hanavi, similar here, Pinchas says, Shmuel HaKatan, over here, right when he was a Katan, already we saw his greatness. You didn't have to wait till he grew up and became a Talmud Chacham, and a Rav, and a Tana. Right away we saw his greatness. As the Chazal tell us, Butzin Mekatfe Yediyah. Sometimes you see from young age the greatness that is going to be with him. Another explanation is that Katan is Loshen Chiba, as you call a person my son, Bni, or Achi, my brother. Here the Loshen Chiba. That's one of the several explanations why is it called HaKatan over here. Now the question is, what is he saying? Whatever he's saying, word for word, Shlomo Melech said. So we have here a few answers. One answer is, indeed, he didn't say anything new, but he used Shlomo Melech's advice, the Shlomo Melech statement in Mishlei, and he would tell people that this is advice for life. He would repeat and point out to people, either in Musar or in Chassidus way, that this is not right what we're doing. You have to, if one of your enemies, a person not feeling well, if a person's not with you, and he's stumbling or fell down, don't be happy. So he would use out the pasuk of Shlomo and tell everybody about it. So he was Oymed, he would say Shmuel's word itself. Another answer is given that actually Shmuel is bringing a rai from the pasuk in Mishlei to the previous Mishnah. The previous Mishnah says, don't try to look at your friend while he's doing something bad. So therefore, in addition to that Mishnah, Shmuel HaKatan said they have a rai from a pasuk. The pasuk says, "B'nefoil yivchal tismach." So he's bringing a rai to the previous pasuk as well. Rashi actually in this Mishnah, Pirki adds another line to this Mishnah, which we don't have in our Mishnah, in the regular Mishnahs or in our Rebbe's Mishnahs, but he adds a line, and that line is an explanation to pasuk in Mishlei. So Rashi actually adds something explaining what Shmuel adds to the Mishnah itself. Similarly, we find that in the Eliyahu Zute, Eliyahu Zute, Pirki Zayin, there we have this same Mishnah of Shmuel HaKatan, and then there's a an additional. So there we find that he says, well, a Pirush here. Now here we find about Shmuel HaKatan that the Gemara says there was difficult times by the Am Yisrael. So Rabbi Gamliel, the Nasi, he said there was a Kehillah congregation, there was a Knessia, a group of Tanoim gathered together in Yavne, and Rabbi Gamliel said, who can write a new bracha for Shemona Esrei? Shemona Esrei used to have 18 brachas, but we want to put a new bracha, Wilhelm for all those who are against Yiddishkeit, who are master to the government against Yiddishkeit, against the fluent people, shouldn't have any hope. Who can write a new nusach? And the Gemara says in bracha, Shmuel HaKatan, he was the one who stood up and wrote this nusach that we have today in davening, Wilhelm which is the 19th bracha. We still call it Shemona Esrei, the original number, but this is 19th bracha. Shmuel HaKatan did that. And there are several good sources. Some have the Girsa, originally it was called Birchas HaTzdoikim. The Tzdoikim, the ones who were against the Perushim, which is the Rabbanon. The Tzdoikim only believed in what says in the Pasuk, and they did not believe what the Rabbanon said, and they would go to the governments and master against the Perushim, against the Chachamim. So we had a bracha against them, but they finished at the end of Churban Ba'isheni. There was no more tzedeikim. But the same problem we had later on with the Karoim. Also, those who only believe in the Psukim, in the Kro, not in the Chazal, not in Tanakh. Finally, the problem happened by Ba'isheni, the end of Ba'isheni, from the Noitzim, from the new Jews who became Christians, and they were ones who made a lot of problems for the Eden. The one that was mentioned is Patros, Peter, who he tried to change certain things to halacha, and it caused a lot of problems by the Eden. So we made a bracha for him. And finally, minim apikursim. But this bracha refers, according to all the Gesoris, for the tzdoikim, for the karoim, for the noitzim hachadoshim, and for the minim. That's the bracha of Lamashin. Who made that? Shmuel HaKatan. So what does he say here? Bin foil lo yivcha al tismach. When your enemy falls, don't be happy, don't laugh. Now, today's time, or in all time, and in all countries in the world, by nature, when your friend falls, you laugh. Scientists, professors, therapists, they're doing a lot of research. What is the reason? Why does one laugh when his friend falls? And it only falls in a friendly situation, in a play situation. If he'd fall down from a tall building, nobody's gonna laugh. But if he falls down, he stumbles and falls, you laugh. Why is that? Then each one has their own theory. Why they laugh? Why does it cause us to laugh when a friend's falling? But here the Mishnah says, "Bin foil lo yifchal tismach." Don't laugh when your enemy falls. Why not? Chazal tell us, explaining this Mishnah, that when you laughing when your friend's falling or your enemy's falling, that adds to the punishment of your enemy. The person fell down in Hashemayim, they caused him to fall. That's his punishment. When you laugh and he sees you laughing, your enemy, that hurts him more. So he got an extra punishment. Why you deserve an extra punishment? You caused that. So the extra punishment, Hashem says, okay, I'll take away the cast from him and fall on you. Another reason is giving that laughter by falling is mamtik the dinim. It sweetens the dinim of the person. If that person deserves to be punished by laughing, it's going to sweeten his gzar din. When somebody who is wicked falls down, don't laugh, because let him have the gzar din. Why are we laughing? Why are we softening and be mamtik his dinim at all? But here comes the question. So we're not supposed to fall. So what does he add here? The pasuk is adding here that even it's your yifcha, even it's your enemy, don't laugh. Why not? Maybe your judgment is not right. Maybe you're laughing at him and he doesn't really deserve that. So don't laugh at the fall of your enemy. The Mefarshim asks a question. There's another pasuk that says, the pasuk says, when the shoyim are lost or taken away from this world, that's rina, a time of joy of singing. So how come here we say don't be happy when the Rasha falls, and there it says be'ibud l'shoyim rina? We find the same thing in Medrash says about Kriyas Yamsuf. During the time that they were Mitzrayim were suffering, then the Eibusha says to the Malachim, you can't sing Shir now. Ma'aseh Yodit Tov B'Yam. But once they were over, Kriyas Yamsuf were over, then it was the Shira Oz Yashir. So what does it mean? So the Mefarshim explain, during the time that he's falling, bin foil, when he's in the middle of falling, don't laugh. But if it's a Rasha and he's the end, the Ibn Hashem, then you can have really, it's a good time for the world when the Rasha lost and he's not around anymore. That's the lesson of this Pedic. But let us be Zeicha to, even the Pasuk says, Oz Yemala Yischak Pinu, then, and the time, and only then, in the time of Mashiach, and the Gil of Mashiach, then will time a real rejoicement, will be able to laugh and rejoice for all the best that He did to us. May it be speedily in our days. B'mehei Mamish.